Good morning and welcome to this morning's episode of the Amateur in the Morning. Right, so it's been about I think about a week and a half since the last session that I did, or I think it's just about a week. Right, can't really recall the date. And the reason for that is because I've been on a bit of a detox, right, trying to clear myself spiritually and mentally and stuff like that. Because it's been a crazy year for me. Uh, Came out of a huge slump this year as well. So taken on a lot of pressure as a result of that. And, it's just a really good thing for me to go away every now and then and just sort of clear my mind. So I'm back. And generally, what I do when I do come back is I just do damage. So completely kill the markets when I get back, right? So I'm not really going to delay and go through the nitty gritties and all of that stuff. I'm just going to get straight into the session, and let's talk about a few setups that we've spoken about previously, and that played out really really well last week. So if any of you have been following the series, if any of you have been following the setups, if any of you have been following these episodes, then I mean, last week all the way into this week would have been crazy for you, right? Before I get into it, let me throw in my little disclaimer in there. Remember, I am not qualified to provide financial, investment, or trading advice. Everything I speak about on these sessions is purely my opinion on the markets. Any trades I take is trades I'm willing to take with cash that I am willing to risk. So ensure that anything that you do, any actions you take, are not purely influenced by anything I say on here, and any trades you take, you do your own research as well as you risk cash that you are willing to lose, right? So we're going to get straight into volatility 10, and we're going to talk a little bit about volatility 10. Um, all right, cool, bro, cool. So we're going to get straight into volatility 10 and let's talk about it a little bit. Let me just get my annotator in here. And what I want to do before I get into my expectations for today is I want to talk a little bit about, the setups that we spoke about previously, or the analysis that I've done on these markets previously and how that essentially played out. Now, if you've been following, volatility 10 is something that we spoke about, and I have been speaking about it reaching into this pink zone. Apologies about the background noise. I live near a reserve, so it gets a bit noisy every now and then. But anyway, volatility 10, I've been speaking about it getting into this zone right here ever since it came off the bottom in here. So as you can see, that played out pretty nicely and it's gotten there to the top. And I have mentioned countless times that I was expecting sales to come in at this level. And as you can see, that is currently happening at the moment. Full disclosure on this matter, I am currently holding a sell on here at the moment, all the way from the top here, and I'm looking to take it all the way back to the bottom. Currently very, very small at the moment. The reason for that is because I'm basically buy bias on this market and I'm not really looking to over leverage in terms of sells, right? So basically my focus for here going forward will be I will be looking to see it get back down into this pink zone over here on the downside, and then I'll be looking to take that long buy back to the upside, right? So overall, currently I am bearish bias on volatility 10. What I am expecting to see for today, if I drop down to the 4-hour chart, let's bring that over. As you can see that on the 4-hour chart, we are currently breaking all significant lows at the moment. So I will be expecting to see this market trade down below these lows, perhaps a retest around here or around in here, and then we'll see it bounce back and do a young retest into that level in there. Let me just grab something else to annotate because my freehand is straight garbage. All right, cool. So I will be expecting to see it revisit into around these areas today. We might just get a bounce in here before we see it come back down into these areas here. So what I will be expecting to see is perhaps a bounce in here today. So I'll be looking to see how it reacts to around this level here. And then perhaps it will give us a buying opportunity into around these levels in here before we look for a sell down into this level that I highlighted on the daily chart. right? So very simple, very straightforward. I try to keep these sessions as short as possible because I mean, there's not much to speak about if you are following the series. So looking at volatility 25-1S, another great performer after the volatility 10 as well, because I mean, this was amazing the way it played out. Looking at volatility 25-1S, the last time that we did speak, I did speak, I think we were around these areas here when we spoke last or slightly higher, perhaps still going into the upside. Can't really recall specifically, but all the way from around here, I have been speaking about the fact that we will see volatility 25-1S revisit this trend line and gravitate more towards this pink zone that we've got over here on the downside. Another thing that I had highlighted was that we will see the wick of this candle here being filled, and as you can see that did happen on Saturday, right? So it has been a crazy, crazy week on these markets. So if you have been able to profit from this, very well done on that. And I hope you put your profits to good use. So for today, what I will be expecting to see on volatility 25-1S is perhaps a revisit into here. The reason I do say that is, as you can see on yesterday's candle, we left a pretty lengthy wick on there. And what I generally see on that is I generally see those wicks get filled perhaps before we see the market trade back in the direction that it was moving. So for today, I will be looking to see volatility 25-1S revisit this area. You can call it a trend line retest. You can call it whatever you like, break of market structure, lower high, whatever you would like to call it. But basically, that's what I'm expecting to see a revisit into here before we see this market continue in its downtrend. Overall, currently, we are still looking for sells. As I did identify on the weekly time frame, I think some time ago that we were looking for a reaction of this level. And as you can see, that played out really, really well over last week. So, I mean, if you've taken this setup, very well done on that. I'm just going to drop down to the 4-hour time frame to see if we've got any clear structure on here. And on the 4-hour time frame, the one thing that sticks out to me at the moment is the fact that price has basically broken down and we've currently made a higher low on the 4-hour time frame. So in this instance, just to complement the fact that we left that long wick on the daily time frame as well, it also does support the theory of seeing this market revisit perhaps back into these areas here before we see it continue back in its downtrend. Another probability is should price not respect this area here, which is highly unlikely because the daily time frame supports this analysis, then what we'll be looking to see is if we get a reaction of this level or even around this area here. So sorry about that. Let me just grab something else. Free hand sucks, right? So overall, perhaps the highest possibility for this market will be to see it revisit this area here before we see sales coming back into the downside. Likelihood of it trading higher than that is highly unlikely at this point. But if we have any changes on that, I mean, that will never happen today because the overall bias is to the downside. So for us to get a huge bullish push will be highly unlikely, right? So if there are any changes in that, then we will speak about it on tomorrow's session. Looking at volatility 50, another really, really good performer as well. The last time we spoke about this market, we were somewhere around here. If I'm not mistaken, no, I'm lying. We were here, right? And I had highlighted this specific level here. I remember we were on between these two candles that are here. And I did mention that I am expecting to see this level being respected and driving price back down into this pink zone that I highlighted below price. And as you can see, it came really strongly down into that level. It broke below this low here, retested into this level here, which is something I had highlighted about 2 months or 3 months back, if I'm not mistaken. I think about 2 months back, I highlighted this level that we will see buys coming in here to revisit this gray zone that we've got on the top. So overall, I am currently bullish bias on volatility 50. However, what we might see happening today is because of this long wick, just like the case that I've just highlighted on 25-1S, is we might see price gravitate downwards to come and fill this wick and then perhaps retest into this pink zone or just above this pink zone because we've got this level of just grab my rectangle. We've got this level here of support and resistance, if you want to call it that, which is a major level all the way from this side, which might keep price pushing back to the upside. So overall, that is what I am looking at on volatility 50. Not really going to drop down below this time frame because I haven't really been trading volatility 50. So yeah, I shouldn't really have any analysis below that, right? So that is it on the daily time frame. So we should see it drop, pull down a bit before we see it push back to the upside. But overall, we are still looking for buys on volatility 50. Looking at volatility 75, the last time that we spoke, I did highlight this level in here to see possible selling opportunities coming in on here. And as you can see, price did sort of break above it. And as I have been highlighting over the past couple of weeks is that I wasn't really focusing on volatility 75. And the reason for that is because it really wasn't respecting my analysis the way I would have liked it to. So I haven't really been actioning anything on that, right? But looking at it for today, what I will be expecting to see is I will be expecting to see it revisit into this area in here, and then we'll possibly see some sells come in to revisit around this area here over the next couple of days before we see it drive up into this pink zone that I had highlighted previously. So overall for today, we will be looking to see if this market can continue buying into around this area here. And if we do get good selling opportunities from around this area in here, then we will be looking to take those selling opportunities back down into around this area down here, which is a really good structure level because we have a whole lot of rejections before price broke above, and then price came back and retested before going, came back again, and it left, right? So this is a really good structural level. So if we get good sell confirmations off there, then we will be looking to take it lower from there and then take those buys back up, right? So drop down from there, I shouldn't really have any analysis below that because just like volatility 50, I haven't really been trading it. But there is this zone that I had highlighted quite some time back, and you can see price broke above it, came back and retested it really, really nicely. And that's currently playing out very, very well as well. Unfortunately, well, I haven't really been trading over the past week and a half, so it's not really something that I was able to catch, right? So that's it from my side. Very short episode today. As of perhaps tomorrow, I will begin to cover some of these other charts that I've got on here as well that we can speak about on this as well. I mean, volatility 51 is one of the great trades as well that played out over the past week and a half, and that has played out really, really nicely. Step index as well, something that I spoke about, good selling opportunities coming in from this pink zone. That's also playing out really nicely. I think this is something I posted on IG as well about 2.5 weeks ago for a sell off this level. So if you follow me on Instagram as well, then you would have been able to take advantage of that. But for now, that's as much as I'm going to talk about because I really don't want to keep the session longer than it needs be. So on that note, I'm going to end it there. And, I'm going to catch up with you guys again, same time tomorrow. Until next time, it's been a pleasure as always to share. And I'm wishing you a blessed and a profitable trading day.